Right, so this is the final of our MIMIR individual competition, and sitting in number 1 is Colin Foster, Doug Griffiths, John Hall, Jim Eccleson, question person Angela Doyle, scorer Angela Horton, bonus counter Cliff Horton.
Okay, these are questions that echo. Just says 823. Colin, round 1. Which small nocturnal African primate is also known as the galago?
Bush baby.
It is the bush baby. Which country in 1988 issued the first polymer banknotes?
Australia.
It is Australia. And who in Greek mythology were the daughters of the evening star who guarded the golden apple?
Amazons.
Incorrect.
Hesperides.
It was Hesperides.
Hang on a second.
Guinness.
Thank you. Thank you, Mum. Through the 45.
Dan, from which country does the dried pea soup with ham, known as archstopper, originate?
Sweden.
It is Sweden. Who became the first American singer to record a Beatles song when, in June 1963, he released his version of From Me to You?
American, you said.
I did.
Guy Mitchell.
Incorrect.
Just Jim.
Doug Shannon.
It was Del Shannon. And Dag, your third question. Which independent boarding school in Kent did Anne, the Princess Royal, attend from 1963 to 1968, where she obtained 6 O-levels and 2 A-levels?
Kennedy.
It was Kennedy. John, in which harbour in July 1985 was the Greenpeace ship Rainbow Warrior sunk by French saboteurs?
Vancouver.
Incorrect.
Colin.
Auckland.
It was Auckland. Which European country's language has 2 main variants known as TOS and GEG? That's T-O-S-K and G-H-E-G.
Albania.
It is Albania. And what is the subject of the sculpture by Michelangelo that is the only piece he actually signed?
Theatre.
It is the theatre. Jim, what is the name given to Italian corkscrew-shaped pasta?
Rigatoni.
It isn't.
Just fusilli.
It is fusilli. Right. Jim, which animals are affected by the bacterial disease known as strangles?
Horses.
It is horses. And which American politician escaped an attempted assassination in 1975 by Lynette Squeaky Froome, a member of Charles Manson's family?
Ford.
It was Ford. End of round 1.
Colin scored 3, Dag scored 4, John scored 2, Jim scored 3.
And bonuses. Colin's had 1, Dag 2, John hasn't had any yet, and Jim's had 1.
Okay, round 2, Colin. Which Italian artist created a bronze statue of David in the 1440s that is said to be the first freestanding statue of a nude male since antiquity?
Donatello.
It was Donatello. The woven straw hat, commonly called Panama hat, has its origin in which country?
Ecuador.
It is Ecuador. Which Little Richard hit was the last song the Beatles performed live and in front of a paying audience, doing so in San Francisco in August 1966?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
It's not.
No offers.
It's Long Tall Sally. Dag. Which Greek hero, son of Zeus and Danae, was married to Andromeda?
Percy.
It is Percy. In the 1960 FA Cup final between Blackburn Rovers and Wolverhampton Wanderers, which Blackburn fullback was carried off injured with a broken leg? He later returned to Wembley 53 years later as chairman of another club which won the FA Cup.
I was there. Wigan, Dave Whelan.
It was Dave Whelan. And found in the tropical Americas, what kind of creature is a fer de lance?
Snake.
It is a snake. John, in which Welsh town are the headquarters of the Royal Mint?
Montresant.
It is Montresant. At which university did William, the now Prince of Wales, enrol in 2001 for a degree course in art history?
St Andrews.
It was St Andrews. And what was the name of the German soldier who, in July 1944, led the attempt to assassinate Adolf Hitler that became known as Operation Alphabet?
No, I've forgotten. Pass.
Jim.
Stauffenberg.
It is possible to start with Jim. And Jim, your questions. Which sister ship of the Titanic sank after hitting a mine in 1916 in the Aegean Sea?
Britannic.
It was Britannic. Which city in California was the setting for a number of John Steinbeck's novels, such as Cannery Row and East of Eden?
Monterey.
It is Monterey. And what name is given to the brimless cap, usually made of cloth, that is traditionally worn by Orthodox Jewish men?
Namulka.
Correct. Yarmulke, or Pippa. And round.
Colin scored 2 to make a total of 5. Dag scored 3 to make a total of 7. John got 2 to make 4. And Jim scored 4 to make 7. 5, 7, 4, 7.
Bonuses. Colin said 1, Derek said 2, John hasn't said any, and Jim said 2.
Round 3. Colin. In the 1959 FA Cup final between Nottingham Forest and Luton Town, which player scored a goal in the 10th minute for Nottingham, but was carried off in the 33rd minute with a broken leg?
Hennessy.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Dwight.
It was Dwight. Roy Dwight.
Sorry, that's my phone. Right back. Go on in a minute.
Oh, it's behind.
Colin, Colin, the second question. What is the official language of the European country of Moldova?
Romania.
It is Romania. Which political leader survived an attempt on his life in 1918 when he was shot 3 times by Fanny Kaplan?
Lenin.
Correct. It is Leonard. Dag. Which writer was, in 1930, the first American to win the Nobel Prize for Literature? His books include Babbitt and Elmer Gantry.
Upright.
Incorrect.
John.
Sorry.
It was Sinclair Lewis. What's John? Babbitt, not Rabbit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we should.
You got the one.
Yeah.
Yes. Your second question, Dag. What was the name of the Turk who, in 1981, shot Pope John Paul II in St. Peter's Square?
Ali.
Pardon?
Ali.
That's not it.
Mehmet. I guess Ali.
Yes, Agca is a bit for some line according to this. So, sorry about that, but yes, absolutely get point. And your third question, which charge card company, formed in 1950 by Frank McNamara, issued the world's first credit card?
Dinosaur.
It was the dinosaur. John, which bell-shaped hat for women, originally created by milliner Caroline Rebu, was especially popular in the 1920s?
Plush.
It is a cloche. Which Beatles song, first released in August 1966, was the only one on which none of the group played musical instruments?
Eleanor Rigby.
It is Eleanor Rigby, sorry, there's an apostrophe in Beatles, which is really. And your third question. In the 1956 FA Cup final between Manchester City and Birmingham City, which Manchester player suffered a back injury in the 73rd minute? Although he completed the game, his injury was diagnosed as a broken neck 3 days after the game.
True.
It was indeed. Easy. Jim, who founded the co-educational school in Scotland known as Gordonston that was attended by Prince Philip and his sons Charles, Andrew and Edward?
On.
Correct, it is Hahn. Which film of 1969 saw the last screen appearance of Noel Coward, who played the character Mr. Bridger?
Italian job.
It is the Italian job. In Greek mythology, who was the princess of Colchis, deserted by Jason after helping him to steal the Golden Fleece?
Medea.
It is Medea. End of round two.
In that round, Colin scored 2 to make 7. Dag scored 3 to make 10. John scored 4 to make 8. And Jim scored 3 to make 10. 7, 10, 8, 10.
Bonuses, Colin said 1, Dag 3, John 1 and Jim 2.
Round 4. Colin. Which American novelist won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1938 for her rich descriptions of peasant life in China, as in her book, The Good Earth?
Book.
It is Pearl S. Buck. Which British submarine sank the Argentine cruiser ARA General Belgrano during the Falklands War?
Vanguard.
Incorrect.
Sorry, Jim.
Conqueror.
It is HMS Conqueror. Jim, and your third question, Colin. Which King of England founded King's College, Cambridge, and its sister institution, Eton College?
Henry VI.
It is Henry VI. Dag, on which river does the Australian city of Melbourne lie?
Yarra.
It is the Yarra. Which American cruiser was blown up in Havana Harbour in 1898, resulting in the Spanish-American War?
Is that me?
It is the USS Maine. And derived from French, what name is given to the tall, brimless hat that is traditionally worn by professional cooks?
Took.
It is a toque. John, which actor made his last film appearance in the 1984 film 1984, in which he played O'Brien, the torturer of Winston Smith?
Richard Burton.
It is Richard Burton. On which river is the Russian city of St. Petersburg situated?
Neva.
It is the Neva. And which American writer, who often set his books in his birthplace of Newark, New Jersey, wrote Goodbye Columbus and Portnoy's Complaint?
Roth.
It is Philip Roth. Jim, which European capital city lies at the confluence of the Danube and Sava rivers?
Belgrade.
It is Belgrade. Which sculptor, architect and painter, the outstanding figure of the Italian Baroque, created the Fountain of the Four Rivers in Rome?
Say the description again, please.
Yep. Which sculptor, architect and painter, the outstanding figure of the Italian Baroque, created the Fountain of the Four Rivers in Rome?
Brunelleschi.
Incorrect.
Colin.
Bernini.
It is Bernini. Gian Lorenzo Bernini. And your last question, Jim. In the 1957 FA Cup final between Manchester United and Aston Villa, which United goalkeeper suffered a broken cheekbone after 6 minutes? Although replaced in goal for most of the match, he did return for the last 7 minutes.
No, I don't know.
Colin.
Swift.
Incorrect.
Dag.
Wood.
It is Ray Wood. And round four.
That round, Colin scored 3 to make a total of 10. Dag scored 4 to make 14. John scored 3 to make 11. And Jim scored 2 to make 12. 10, 14, 11, 12.
Bonuses. Colin's had 3, Dag 4, John 1, Jim 3.
Round 5. Colin, what is the title of the last film of John Wayne, in which he plays J.B. Brooks, a retired gunfighter who has only months to live?
The Shootist.
It is The Shooter. Which Gulf, a northeastern arm of the Red Sea, lies between Saudi Arabia and the Sinai Peninsula?
Gulf of Aden.
Incorrect.
John.
Aqaba.
It is Aqaba. And Colin, what in Chinese cuisine are wonton?
So like a little feeling pasty dumpling.
Dumplings is the word I found. Correct. Dag. Which Italian neoclassical sculptor created 2 versions of a group in marble showing 3 daughters of Zeus, known as the Three Graces?
Canova.
It is Antonio. In which film of 1967 does Spencer Tracy make his final screen appearance as Matt Drayton, a newspaper editor?
Guess who's going to hear?
It is Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And which European country's language is unique in that it is the only Semitic language whose standard form is written in Latin script?
Malta, Maltese.
Yes, yeah, Malta is the answer to this country, but absolutely not. John, which large feline mammal of the Americas has the scientific name Panthera onca? O-N-C-A.
Puma.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Jim.
ounce.
Incorrect.
Colin.
Jaguar.
It is the jaguar. John, which hero in Greek mythology was the son of Odysseus and Penelope?
Odysseus and Penelope. Telemachus.
It is Telemachus. And what fruit is used to make a Cumberland sauce?
Red currants.
It is red currant. Jim, which Beatles song became their 17th and final UK #1 single in May 1969?
Ballad of John and Yoko.
It is the Ballad of John and Yoko. What name was given to the system of employers paying their workers in goods or tokens, which could only be used for shops owned by the employers?
Trucking.
Yes, the truck system. And by what name is the language spoken by the Basque people of northern Spain and southwestern France known in the language?
Esquiva. Uskua. EU.
Yes. Euskara, yes. Overground.
Okay. In that round, Colin scored 3 to make 13. John